Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Do you notice something different this week? About the setup, I mean, look at this. I just love it. I noticed that last week's video was not bright enough, so I decided to change that. And I received this amazing light here that I can put in different colors, and look at this. I'm just so happy of the result. I hope you like the result as well. Quality is improving week by week, which I love. I'm very happy of. So today we're gonna go back in history, back in tattoo history specifically. We're gonna react, actually we're gonna watch together some segments of LA Ink. 2 segments of Kat Von D tattooing 2 really known people. First off, Jeffree Star, cause yeah, they used to be friends. I'm not gonna go into the detail about anything on both of these controversial people, which are Kat Von D and Jeffree Star. They had their load of controversy, and this video is not gonna be much about that in any way. Might do some comments about the fact that they used to be friends or something like that, but I will not go into any detail about their controversial and weird past. Okay, if you want to watch videos about that, there are plenty on YouTube. It's not going to be that today. Second one is going to be Dave Navarro getting tattooed by Kat Von D. And yeah, we're gonna react also a bit to the comment section, because there's really nice comments in the comments section, pretty funny things. So we're gonna look at all of that today. We're gonna start with Dave Navarro. Just one thing I want to say is about the title of the video. Man gets tribute tattoo of mom who was murdered. Man, and then the description is Kat Von D tattoos a portrait of this man's. Who is this man's? It's Dave Navarro. He was in Red Hot Chili Peppers. You know, this small band that nobody knows about, right? He's been a judge on Ink Master. I guess at this point Ink Master was not existent. LA Ink was before Ink Master. But still, he was known for being in Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they just named him Man. Okay. Sure. Kat Von D with her.
Dave Navarro had an appointment to get tattooed by me today, and I was really excited about it. You know, we've been planning it out for a while.
Okay, we have this stencil going on.
I do that too. Look, I only tattoo barefoot.
You gotta feel the earth so you're grounded.
Yep.
Feel the earth. Yeah,
I can't think of a better tattoo artist to do my mom's portrait.
Well, thank you.
And that's why I wanted to be here.
Do you have a bunch of those pictures like that? I assume those aren't like...
Modeling pictures? Yeah, there's tons of them. She was a model. She was an actress. She was in a bunch of movies back in the 60s.
I have some other tattoos that commemorate her life. I have her name, and but I don't have any visual images of her. 25 years ago, my mother was murdered by her then boyfriend.
Do you mind if I ask what happened?
She was with this guy for like 5 years, and she broke up with him, and evidently he couldn't handle it. I mean, it was, essentially like a jilted, jealous ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I didn't know this story about him. I know he's had a troubled past, dealing with addiction. I guess there's a documentary on his life that has come up, that was made. Did not watch it yet, but yeah, I didn't know that, and it's very nice tattoo to get a tattoo of your mom. Pretty awful, actually. She was murdered by her boyfriend slash ex-boyfriend. So I guess he's had a rough also upbringing, because it means the guy was at least a bit violent, right? Controlling, because you don't just come up with wanting to kill someone, there's already a setup in place usually where the guy control, well, it can be a woman of course, but mostly men who control women, and yeah.
Pretty crazy.
He broke into the house one night and killed my mom and my aunt.
The whole thing was just so
Whoa.
dark and
Of course.
scary.
Yeah.
It was actually a miracle that I wasn't home, because I think that obviously if I was home that night, it would have gotten me too.
It's weird because when something like that happens, it's such a shock and it's so powerful. It almost takes time for the grieving process to even kick in.
I've lost my dad, and yeah, even in a not so traumatic setting, death is always traumatic in itself, but it takes some time to realize that, yeah, the person is gone forever. And I guess if he wasn't there, it takes some time to realize that this actually truly happened, and how actually horrible this can be, because our brain wants to protect us, and our brain just erases any thoughts about something traumatic, any remembering about something traumatic, anything. So you can also, some people who have experienced trauma, we're gonna go deep today, just forget pieces of what happened, because your brain is in survival mode. It wants to protect you. You don't want to go into a deep depression when you cannot do anything. Your brain is literally protecting you. So it's also, it takes a while to actually realize what happened, and I guess in a very traumatic setting like this, it's so hard, so painful. You don't want to actually go there. You don't want to think too much about it, because it's too much to handle for a person. That's it.
I really turned to music as the one thing in my life that I had that spoke volumes, and not only gave me an outlet, but gave me a career.
But I actually have plans, because he's in jail, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, I'd love to go and visit him
And what would you do?
and ask directly, what happened? What were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
It's gonna take walking through some discomfort to get to the other side, but
Very
you're a stronger individual as a result of it,
uncomfortable.
you know?
I think that Dave seems to have a really good understanding of like life in general, and he has a pretty positive outlook on stuff. So I think no matter what happens, whether he sees this murderer and walks away with like a load lifted, like I think that something positive will come out of it. We are all done.
And time proves
You
that.
ready to check it out?
He's
Yeah,
done pretty
dude.
well.
Go, look.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh, dude.
Let me just see the tattoo now.
That is crazy. And it kind of looks like it's been there.
Yeah. see
Kinda
how I
looks
added
like
that little,
it's been
tiny
there.
shading and goes from your muscle structure out.
The placement
Very
is
sick.
okay.
You love it?
I mean,
I
he
do.
doesn't look like he has as much space on his arm. I love they say a portrait, but it's a whole body portrait. I really like the shading. I think it looks great. What I think I like less in this piece is what's around the tattoo. So the big black shading around her. I don't know if I like that much, especially at the feet, under the feet. Looks kind of rough. I guess if she hadn't made the shading around, it would just look like a sticker, Some tattoos sometimes look like just a sticker. But if you get tattoos around it with other things and stuff, it can eventually not look that much like a sticker. I personally prefer pieces. I'm gonna show my piece to prove with background and something nice. I guess he could have had just her face and it would have looked better. In any case, in realism, I think it's pretty hard with any realistic piece to make it blend properly on the body. one of the things that I don't appreciate that much about getting portrait tattoo is that it's pretty hard to make it blend on the body, making it look not just like a sticker on the body with the portrait of like the baby or whoever it is. So it's a very big challenge.
I think the tattoo is amazing. I just thought that the thing was stunning and beautiful, and it really captured her in a really beautiful pose, a beautiful way, and it's like, it's how I like to remember her. So for me, it's a celebration, and
it's true, the
it will
piece is
certainly
nice.
bring me a lot of joy.
Oh, that's cute. So that was the first video. Let's head in the comment section. We already looked at the title, Man Gets... Man, who is that? Okay, there's really funny comments on there. We gotta look at a couple of them. As always, you'll be judged by Oliver Peck, Chris Nunez, and Man. I think he is simply too kind to tell her, Kat, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Okay, I guess people don't like the tattoo. Whoa, okay. They're to rip that apart on Ink Master. I can already hear Oliver. Man, them toes are jacked. I'm not exactly sure what jacked means because they always say that on Ink Master, jacked. I'm not sure what it means. I'm French. I'm sorry. Man. Dave Navarro, Jane's Addiction, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Ink Master, right? At this time, Ink Master did not exist, okay? But the rest, yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers existed. In any case, it's been put on the internet after. So in 2020, here, the video was released, and they say Mans in 2020. I mean, he was known at that point, very known. So they could have just given his name. It's even better for them because it gets more clicks if we know who it is, because we like Dave Navarro. Back then, I used to think Kat was the tattoo artist to go, and many people wanted to do that pilgrimage to LA to her shop and get tattooed by her. I don't know. I love the pilgrimage. Yeah, I'm gonna make a pilgrimage. I'm gonna go by foot, okay? It takes about a week and a half for me to go by foot from here to LA. So I'm gonna make that pilgrimage, stop at every church on the way and repent. Or stop at every tattoo shop and like praying in front of the tattoo shop to the tattoo gods, and then arriving and getting a piece by Kat Von D. Anyway, let's finish reading the comment. So now I realize it was all just a big overhype because many of the tattoos she's done are actually bad on top of being overpriced. There are better artists out there. I mean, if someone is really, really known, doesn't mean they're the #1 best at their art. It means that they're known. It means she's in LA, she's done Miami Ink, LA Ink, she's had a whole career. Now she's a singer, I guess, but she was making makeup with her makeup brand that was really big at the time. I mean, of course there's some hype over her because she's known. And now we look at the tattoos, we're like, for the hype, is it worth it? Some tattoo artists are hyped, and their work is amazing as well. They're top of the game. Is Kat Von D one of them? That's a question. People don't know that she is no longer making makeup. Like, she has no link to the Kat Von D brand, which is now named KVD, by the way. So they're putting comments about that, but she doesn't do that anymore. Don't know what happened. Another drama. Some people just have so much drama in their life. So we're gonna go into look at another person who has a lot of drama in their life and is really known. Probably even more known than Kat Von D nowadays. The T. So let's go and look at Jeffree Star on LA Ink.
Come on.
The shoes. It's giving off Spice Girls, but turn it into Murica, and with a style of pumps that is really 2010. Yeah.
My name is Jeffree Star. In
Oh
case
my
you've never heard
God.
of me, I do music, I DJ, I
In
model.
case you never heard
I
of
met
me.
Kat and we hit it off. 5 years later, we're best
We've
friends.
heard of you, Jeffree. He had a lot of
Today I'm
tattoos
getting
at
a
this point
portrait of my best
already.
friend
Like,
and my
whoa,
dog, Diva.
has
I know. So now, where are we gonna do this
fur.
tattoo? Because
On my foot.
which is so
Okay, cool.
Jeffree
Well, I already made the
Star.
stencil for you, and
Okay.
oh, look at this!
God.
If you could imagine a dog for Jeffree Star, Diva would be the dog. Matching cotton candy pink hair, everything's
Diva.
rhinestoned out. It's the perfect dog for Jeffree
I don't know
for
if
sure.
Diva's
She wants
still
to
alive.
watch.
Some of for his Pomeranian
There you
style.
go.
I think now that I have 80
from
tattoos,
the
this is
foot.
like one of the most
Ouch.
painful ones.
You have 80 now?
Yeah.
That's
80
so cool.
tattoos.
I've seen you go through so much in all this time, and just
Right, we've both been through so much.
yeah, you're one of the only people that came out and like supported me during my book tours. And I'll always be really thankful for that. Speaking of which, I got a third
She
book
has
deal.
books.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been there for the first 2 and I've actually been in them.
The reason I'm telling you is because the editor was thinking it'd be cool to focus on large-scale tattoos.
Aw.
I love that idea, like a whole book about
It's an old
Yeah, with
time.
large
big ones, yeah.
Yeah, so I figured.
I love
you
her
know, if you're down-
machine. Do you see the detail on
It's
it?
just something really crazy.
Jeffree Star has probably one of my biggest and best collections of
We
tattoos,
used to
so
be
I'm
friends.
pretty excited that.
Before, I think it's 2016. I know my tattoo history. I followed the drama. Anyway, they used to be friends.
It's kind of crazy because I don't know. It's just a really big
Stressful.
project. Yeah, you know. I mean, it's exciting and just I've got so much going on already that I'm like, oh my god, like, how am I gonna do all this? But it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited.
I always get people coming up to me like, oh, I saw you in Kat's book.
Really?
It's so great.
It's crazy. Your fans are nuts, dude. I'm really impressed. You know,
Your fans
Jeffree
are
has
nuts.
this outward
Still
image,
they
the pink
are.
hair and the makeup and the tattoos and his style and all that. But
Yeah.
the message that he always puts out there, which I love, is just to embrace your individuality, and that's inspiring
Right.
to each and every one of us.
That's one thing I love about Jeffree Star. He's done weird things, but one thing I love is this embrace your individuality. He says like, you can name me her or him, I don't care. He's feminine, he's masculine, depending on the day, depending on the mood. Of course, he has like a hyper femme vibe, right? But he does really what he wants, and that's something to embrace. And I know he's been bullied and beaten up and things like that because of the way he dresses and looks, because you know a lot of people don't accept that from a man dressing like a woman. Got a lot of work to do still as a society, because that still exists, unfortunately. So that I can understand, of course. If you haven't yet, I would invite you to like this video for the YouTube algorithm, and even better for the algorithm, if you want to leave a comment and subscribe, and or maybe all of those choices, would really appreciate.
Check it out.
Wow.
Your foot looks so cool
It
now.
looks so real. I don't know how
That's
she has
you.
the skills to make something look so...
I don't know why she does that big lining, big shading, actually not lining, but big shading, black shading around the piece. I guess it's for it to not look like a sticker. It looks like it has the darkest black is around the tattoo, and there's not much dark black in the tattoo. So I don't know how this held up. So maybe we could try to look at his feet while going through his photos and things like that to see how it hold up. But looking at it, even I don't have the best definition here, but looking at it, it looks like maybe what held better is the black around the tattoo and not the center of the tattoo, which for an artist that known is kind of annoying, to be honest with you.
realistic, but it was like, whoa.
Oh,
like
dude,
it?
look at-
Whoa.
You're just
Okay, now I see it better. Okay, it looks a bit darker.
Jeffree,
Thank you.
And not
I love seeing you and I
here.
love tattooing you.
Thank you. It looks so good. Diva, say bye.
Bye, love her, bye.
Every time I look
I'm
at
not
this
sure they don't
tattoo,
really
I'm
look
gonna
that
have a big
much like
smile on my
friends.
face because Diva is the best,
Oh,
and I think
Diva.
it's probably one of my best tattoos I have so far.
the eyes. What's up with the eyes? The eyes the eyes are not symmetrical, and the eyes are not very done very well.
Walking diva on my own set.
Oh. Oh yeah, he's going away by walking. Did not have the cars he has now. Now he would be like, you are going to film me going away in this Jaguar or something, followed by bodyguards who have their own cars, black cars around it. You know, this type of stuff. He is this type of person now. So it's really fun to see him just being, I don't know, less known, less of a millionaire. He was not, most likely not a millionaire at that point. So just walking away like a normal person does. Wow, crazy, huh? So now we'll head out in the comment section to see the tea. Somebody says, I'm so glad Jeffree found a true friend like Shane now. Edit, 8 months later, I've made a terrible mistake. He's no longer friends with Shane Dawson? The drama is going so fast with people like this. I haven't followed. They're no longer friends, Shane Dawson and him. I didn't even know that. And you know what? I don't really care. And for that, I'll always be grateful. 7 years later, Jeffree, who? I guess you can still be grateful of having a good friend for some amount of time that has helped you and brought joy to you for a while, even though things ended up badly. And you can maybe reminisce and think like, okay, things were fake and whatever, but there's good things always. So she might still be grateful if she's a mature human being. I don't know her, so I don't know. Little did Jeffree know that he is going to be a self-made multi-millionaire. Yeah, walking away, no cars. Well, I guess he had a car, but not the type of car that he has now. Thanks a lot for coming along with me in this history of tattooing journey today, watching old stuff about tattooing and criticizing Kat Von D's tattoos as well, which, I mean, I knew her, but I didn't know what she was tattooing. I had never really looked at what she was doing, and now I've seen it. And I mean, it's okay, but I would have thought it was better. So if you like this video, of course, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all the things, and see you next week.